So moving on, and delighted to introduce Niamh from Hibernian Community Foundation. I need to declare a conflict of interest, which Niamh probably won't know, but I'm a trustee of Hearts Community Foundation. So I'm simultaneously both delighted and obviously, having seen the adverts from the away end at the Hearts Hibs match, I was even more delighted to see this programme up and running and developing. So really good to meet you virtually, Niamh, and it's over to you.
Hi, so thank you for that. So, as I say, we run two walking football programs. We obviously run a Parkinson's one on a Wednesday, and we run a kind of for all on a Friday. A few of our Parkinson's walking football group have actually attended our Friday one, so they're getting a chance to engage. So Wednesday's a wee bit slower for them. We work on more physical, we work on their cognitive behaviours, their mental, their social well-being and things like that. And a Friday is just turn up and play. So we've managed to kind of transition a few of the guys into that, which has been really important for us. So as you can see on the screen, our Parkinson's one we run on a Wednesday for an hour, and then we have a social afterwards for an hour. So 9 times out of 10, all the attendees come back afterwards. We have a tea, a coffee, we catch up. What other groups have you been attending this week? How are you getting on? Which is the biggest one for us. And on a Friday, as I say, we have a team who enter into the Walking Football League. So it's completely different. We run two completely different programs that fall under the same walking football category. Next slide, please. So in terms of how we got this up and running, we initially got a grant from Walking Football Scotland, which was really beneficial for us. It allowed us to put on a 10-week pilot completely free of charge for the participants, which I think was really important for us in our area because it was completely new, it had never been done before, and it was good just to kind of try and get people in straight away. We're fortunate enough that our grant funding has taken us to Christmas. So our programme will be completely free up until Christmas, and then thereafter, hopefully we're looking to get some more funding to make it free again, otherwise there'll be a small charge for it. But to get it up and running, we had a day out at Tory Glenthrough in Glasgow where we met Drew Wilson. We also met Amanda for the first time, where we spoke through a workshop and we got a wee bit of education on Parkinson's itself. My granddad had Parkinson's, but I was too young to really appreciate what it was, kind of thing. So I found it really interesting to see how he lived when he had it, but also how can I now help and give back something for it. So we had a day out in that, and then we went onto the pitch and watched how the coaches interacted with their players, and then we got to take part, and then we also got to lead on parts of the session because inevitably that's what we were going to do. So once we had done that, we then done some online training, same as what Craig had said. I think it sounds like the same one that we done, and that was really beneficial. Again, it helped us to understand the disease more, the common symptoms, how we can help manage it, and the benefit of activity and exercise. So it was really beneficial because over the course of the in-person and the online, it prepared us a wee bit more. We got more of an insight into the disease itself and the impact it can have physically, socially, and mentally, and what the common triggers were important for us, because obviously in a physical activity session, how can we help combat that kind of thing? All our volunteers got to interact with the people with Parkinson's and got to hear about their stories, which was really good. And again, we've been able to take it over to our own sessions. Next slide, please. We also had to consider a lot of things going into this. It was completely different to our walking football programme that we had been running on a Friday. So our risk assessment was slightly higher risks than, again, our other one on a Friday, simply because of the group that we're working with. So things like the trips, slips, falls, things like that, how can we help to reduce them, and what things can we do to make sure that doesn't happen? Where we are, we have a wall on the outside of the pitch. So what we do now is we actually bring the pitch in. We use flat markers just in case anybody does fall. It gives them that wee bit of leeway so they're not falling into the wall to prevent serious injury. We have chairs at pitch side, so any falls or things, not everybody's comfortable with being helped to be picked up. So we have the chairs at the side just just as an option if they would rather, to help get themselves up. As I say, all our volunteers undertook the E module and we attended the training day at Tory Glen. So the picture on the screen now is our volunteers. They are all members of our Walking Football on a Friday. They all wanted to give something back, which is a massive, massive thing for us. And the last thing we had to do was make sure that everybody who attends our Parkinson's group has completed a PAR-Q. So we have all their updated medical history and emergency contact details for anything that may happen. Unfortunately, since we've started, we have had to use it. So it's been really, really important to make sure that we have everything up to date. Next slide, please. Our session plans do change every week. However, as I think Victoria said, Craig said before, it's about different dynamic movements and getting people moving. So we always make sure that we do a big extensive warm-up, 10, 15 minutes at least, where we have them, like we do stretches, we walk, we jog, we use the ball, things like that. It gets them moving, different types of mobility. And we also do Simon Says as well, which sounds so silly because it's older people. However, they absolutely love it, and the amount of times it makes we do a forfeit. They choose what the forfeit is, and they all buy into it. So it's really, really good, and it makes them think. So yeah, in this session plan that's on the screen, we kind of have different things. So we've got the step ladder. When they're going over the step ladder, they tell us to either count up, they count down, they shout out their favourite band, their favourite drink, their favourite food. So it gets them thinking while they're doing something else. We've got them dribbling in and out of the cones. So again, works on their different movements, they're having a shot at goal, their power. We've then got them working on their balance as they come back over the markers. And they're then having to think where they're going to receive the ball. They then have a shot. So while we do that, they're working on their mobility, their balance, their strength, makes them think. So their cognitive, their communication, things like that. So everything that we do in that is really, really important. We do similar every week, and it allows them to choose how intense they want the session to be. So some guys go absolute guns blazing. They're able to make it a bit more higher. We've got some guys who walk it all. That's completely fine. We cater for all. And then most sessions we finish with a game of netball and obviously walking football. The netball allows them to find a space, it's spatial awareness, it gets them running, it gets them talking, and then obviously we go straight into the football. So again, it puts the spatial awareness into perspective. Next slide, please. Our engagement in the programme has been really good so far. So on week 1 alone, we had 12 participants, which for our area was really good. We've had up to 20 participants so far. Our highest number has been 18 on 1 week. We've currently got a walking football tournament actually this weekend, so that's been really beneficial. So the guys are really looking forward to that. Our first ever goal scorer was a woman named Alison. She's one of 2 women who has been to the session, and she keeps coming back. She absolutely loves it. She's the first person who will jump on and give us feedback. She absolutely loves it. She's never kicked a ball in her life, and that first session she came and scored her first ever goal. So the guys still talk about it now. She's a local legend to us, really. In terms of promotion of the session, we used the Walking Football Scotland website, we used the Parkinson's website, we printed off flyers, posters, so that the guys could take them along to their groups that they're already attending. We've had quite a few who have attended through that. We've taken them to local GPs, physios. So we are getting our name out there. We've been lucky enough to have, as you can see on the screen, we've managed to get ourselves on the big screen at Easter Road. So every match day, that's up on the screen, and we've had 3 people who have actively told us that they've saw it on the big screen, and that's how they found out, and that's why they've attended through us. Next slide, please. Here on the screen now, I've just put a couple of the quotes that we've had. We've been fortunate enough to have loads and loads of positive feedback so far. We've got guys travelling from Dunbar every week who don't drive, they get the bus, and while they get the bus, their wife goes and plays where we are. There's a bowling alley next door. His wife goes and plays bowling with some of his friends, so she's getting to do something that she's loved, he's getting to do something that he's loved, and it's a wee day out for them. We've been really fortunate enough that despite us being Hibs, we do have several Hearts fans involved in it, and they're actually coming to the tournament with us this weekend. They have promised if they scored that they would kiss the badge for us. Whether or not, I'm not sure, but it's really been really good for us to have that. As I say, I'm not going to go through every single one because you can all read them on the screen yourself. However, our volunteers have got so much out of it as well. As I say, the one in the middle at the bottom is, I think, quite an impactful one. He had so many opportunities as a young boy to play football, and he still does now. He wants to be able to give something back to make sure that everybody has the same opportunities and nobody is left out. Just because you've got Parkinson's doesn't mean that your life stops. It's how can we help provide opportunities? How can we help get you involved back into society? And again, as I say, one of the ones on the screen, one of our participants lost his job in April. He's had really bad anxiety, depression and things like that, and he's openly said that our groups helped him even get back socializing. He kind of lost that for a little bit. He's been able to socialize. He's been able to get back into it. So that's our Parkinson's Walking Football group. So thank you.
Thank you, Niamh, so much. You know, and if anything can cross the divide of Hearts and Hibs football in Edinburgh, I like to think it's Parkinson's Walking Football. And you might not notice, but I posted on LinkedIn about this, and the message was liked by Andrew McKinley. He's the CEO at Hearts. So it shows the power of walking football for people with Parkinson's, I think.